Are you ready for some luscious impasto painting with some nice, bright, vibrant colors? Let's go. I use this specialized palette knife to get the texture with that molding paste, and then I put the orange paint on top, and it'll be an underlayer. And you can see my nice messages going in here as well. This is going to be 4 different paintings. 2 of them, I believe these are 4x4s. They could be 6x6s, I'm not sure. The other 2 are 4x12s. I'm doing them in a series, not necessarily to sell them together, but they're small, and when I mix the paint, I usually mix a lot of paint. So all of these will have the same colors. You can see me painting in the sky there. I'm purposefully leaving some of that orange showing. If you've watched any of those videos before, I put that orange on there just so I can have a little bit of it peeking out through the painting. Just gives it a little bit more depth. If you have sky, you have to have some clouds. I just put in some wispy little clouds here. I'm not trying to make anything specific. Just going in there, and if I like it, I keep it. If not, I do a little something different. Now I'm getting the foreground in there. This is a deep violet color. It kind of goes on translucent, which I like because you can see some of that orange underneath of it. And then again, I will make sure that you'll be able to see some of it. You can see that I'm applying it to the bottom first. I'm trying to get it not to be touching the sky color. But eventually I will be going into the sky color and getting a nice gradient between the 2 colors as they touch each other. You can see to the left there where the 2 colors kiss each other. And then you'll see how I do it over on the right side. I don't need things to blend perfectly, a perfect gradient, because there'll be a lot that's going to go over the top of this. You see I just squirted paint right onto the canvas. I feel like that saves me some paint every now and then. Whenever I can get by with not putting it onto the palette, I end up losing some of the paint whenever I get it on the palette, leaving some of it there. I get it directly onto the canvas seems just like a better idea. Now I do have some of that sky color over there on the palette, and I'm picking that back up to help get the 2 colors blended together. Now I got to get some leaves and stems in there. I've got the same violet color that the foreground's in, and I'm putting it in there with an angle brush. I'm doing it really loose. You might be able to see the grooves that I'm trying to hit every now and then. I use that specialized palette knife, and when I was doing the molding paste, I put that texture in there with that, and now I'm just trying to get some of that paint in there. I've got a stylus tool now that I'm scraping through the paint. I want that orange under painting to show through. I realized that I probably waited a little bit too long with my sky color. It was drying up a little bit fast. I think the next 2 paintings I work a little bit faster. Sometimes I even, after I get the sky in there, I'll do a little bit of scratching in it before I put the foreground in so that paint doesn't dry up on me. I wanted to zoom in a little bit so you can see the texture as I paint the dark blue stems and grass. You can see how you can see that orange peeking through when I did the scratch through. So if you would have noticed, I had painter's tape around the edges at the beginning. There's some on the back too to keep things nice and neat. But then I realized on these, this is like a, I don't know, an inch, 2 inch thickness of canvas. And a lot of times I like to do the edges, not just in a solid color, but in the grasses and the flowers as well. Here's a little peek at the sides. I'm getting all the same colors that I've got on the front, on the sides. There'll just be some tiny flowers back there. I do the top of the canvas the same color as the sky, and the bottom of the canvas that purple color, the same color as the foreground. I'm also trying to keep things really loose at this point. Now I'm starting with the sides and getting that green grass in there. Obviously there's not purple or that navy blue color of grass, but those are really nice to get in. The purple color makes it look farther away, and so does the navy blue color whenever that green goes on top. Let's watch me paint just for a little bit here and listen to some music. Now I've got the 4x12 pieces. I've got all the same colors in there, and I've got a chartreuse green color, and this is a foreground color for the grass. That bright color really brings it forward compared to the darker colors behind it. I want to bring you in closer so you can see the wonderful texture on these. Here we go with some wonderfully lush flowers. You can see I've got some darker purple flowers. I usually like to start with my darker colors. Then I go in, and this is that same chartreuse color, that lighter color that I'm doing, but it's just mixed with a lot of white, and it almost turns it into a yellow. And then the other purple color you see within that is the same color that I used in the foreground in the first stems and leaves that I was doing. Like I said, I was going to be putting some little flowers here on the sides. These are going to be the tiniest little flowers. Now we're going to put in the same exact colors of flowers that we did on the 4x12 paintings. And I've got some molding paste in this paint. It makes it much thicker. These particular colors aren't thick body paints, so I have to put something in there just to make them thicker. Otherwise, they might go on the painting thick, but they kind of want to just spread out. They look okay. They're just a little bit flatter than this, and I really like that texture and that raised effect. I tend to do a lot of things in odd numbers. On these 4x12s, you can see that as far as how many flowers I've got down, I've got 3 of each color, but now I need to get a third color in there. This is actually a magenta color. The lighter color is just the magenta mixed with a lot of white molding paste, and then the darker is just the full force magenta, and it doesn't have any molding paste in there, but since it's just the accent on here, I didn't need the molding paste on that part. I got to get that third color onto the sides to make everything nice and even. In this squirt bottle, I had that chartreuse green. I'm getting the stems of this last color of flowers in there. The other flowers have some different colors. Make sure that I get right up in there under that paint so they touch, and sometimes I even pull a little bit of it down into the stem, and I really like the way that looks. Once I got all of these done, I found out a high school friend of mine's mom had fallen down and hurt herself. She was in quarantine, and I just thought she needed something to cheer her up. So this one here is on her wall right now, and I do hope that it cheered her up. If you like these videos, please like and subscribe. Also, comments really help out. If you want to see any of my art in person, you can see it at Fine Arts on 5th in Malvern, Iowa, Turtle Creek Gallery in Ashland, Nebraska, and Gallery Epley in Omaha, Nebraska. Please go and check it out.